Hey guys, welcome back to Headwaters Online Group Fitness. My name is Bree, and today's a 1-hour vinyasa designed for racket sports. So we're gonna get into some thoracic movement, opening your hips and opening the shoulders. This is a beginner to intermediate class, and we're gonna start off today in seated pose. So come on down onto your mat and have your legs crossed. So come on down into this easy seated pose, and right off the bat we're gonna switch things up. I'm gonna get you to switch your legs so that your non-dominant leg is in front. So that might feel a little bit uncomfortable, a little bit different. We're looking for imbalances within your body and trying to get off that dominant side all the time and just switching it up. So if this feels uncomfortable for you, I want you just to take your legs a little bit forward. Maybe the hips are tight. If you feel you're leaning back, you can sit on a block or roll up a towel and lift your hips a little bit higher. Let's inhale, reach the hands up overhead, interlace the fingers, and then press your palms up to the ceiling. Start to lift up out of the low back, root down through the sit bones, draw the tummy in, and then we'll lean to the right side and take it over to the left. One more time, take this stretch over to the right side. Keep pressing up through the palms of your hands, rooting down through your sit bones, and then let's take it over to the left side. Come on back through center, release the hands, and then just have your palms down by your sides. Lift up and lengthen the back of the head, so feel your spine lengthen, and then look over the right shoulder. See if you can take the chin right over the shoulder here. Keep the chin lifted. And notice what you see in your field of vision. Without moving your head, what do you see around you? And then take that all the way to the left side, nice and slow. And again, you're rooting down through the hands to lift and lengthen the spine. Take the chin all the way over the left shoulder. Pause, notice what you see in your peripheral vision. Without moving the head, what do you see around you? And then take that back through center, keep that length through the back spine, and begin to lift the back of the head and tuck the chin. Take a deep breath in, and then exhale, release that breath, and keep the chin tucked. You're just gonna look over to the right hip, and notice a different muscle group, a little change. Come back through center, and then look to the left hip. So keep that length through the spine, keep rooting down through the hands. And let's take it back through center, begin to lift the chin. Now lift the shoulders up towards the ears, take them back, and then lower them. Do that one more time. Lift the shoulders towards the ears, draw them back, and then lower them down. I want you to be mindful of where your chin is. Imagine a plumb line just straight down from your chin. And then from here, left hand to right knee. We're setting up for a twist. You're gonna take the right fingers right up to the sky, reach up out of that right side body, and then like you're moving in slow motion, rotate the right hand to the back wall. And again, like you're moving in slow motion, the right hand reaches towards the back wall, and you're gonna land either your fingertips or your flat palm behind your tailbone. Take an inhale breath and use that inhale to lift up through the crown of the head. So lengthen the spine. On your exhale breath, just start to twist on the axis of the spine. Peel the right shoulder back. Take the chin with you. Look over that right shoulder. And let's take another breath right here. On the inhale, you lift and lengthen. On the exhale, twist deeper if you can. Look forward. And move your body back through center. Right hand to left knee. Lift the left arm up. So lifting up out of the sit bones, out of the side body, like you're reaching for something on a high shelf. Start to rotate the palm back, moving in slow motion. See if you can get that palm to face the back wall. And again, take your time here, reach that left arm all the way back. And then plant either the fingertips or your flat palm behind the tailbone. With your next inhale breath, you're just going to use that breath to lift and lengthen the spine. And then on the exhale, twist. Take your chin with you, take it over the left shoulder. Pause, you might feel a little bit stuck, so take another inhale breath, lift and lengthen. And then on that exhale, twist deeper if you can. Come on back through center and then move the shoulders. Good, let's come on into tabletop position. Bring your knees underneath the hips and your hands directly under the heads of the shoulders. I want you to spread your fingers a lot, like you could trace them. And then root down through your flat hands, tuck into the toes. And then we're going to take a series of cat and cow, opening the front spine. You lift the tailbone, lift the heart, keep the clavicles broad, and slide the shoulder blades down the back. So keep your hands planted firm down, like you're plugging them into a wall. And now take a deep breath in through the back of the throat. As you inhale, lift the chin, open the lungs, and then the tops of the feet will come down. Moving into cat, we'll pull the tummy in, round through the spine, and push away the floor. I notice that we're cueing from the feet all the way up to the hands. Let's come back to that cow position. Tuck the toes, begin to lift the tailbone, the belly melts. Heart lifts forward. Get nice and broad through the clavicles and slide the shoulder blades down. Lift your chin, open up the back of the throat and the lungs. Inhale. Exhale, one more time, moving through cat. Tops of the feet come down, pull the tummy in, get nice and round through the spine. So push away the floor even more than you did last time. So take a look at your feet, root down through all 10 toenails, and now start to drag them forward, lifting up that ankle joint. Walk the feet back again, stay in your cat spine, tops of the feet press down, and drag the toes forward, lifting through that ankle joint. And then come on into a neutral spine here, tuck into the toes. Make sure your belly is tight, you're lengthening the breastbone forward and keeping the clavicles nice and broad so the shoulder blades slide down the back. From here, I want you to lift and lengthen that right leg straight back, like you're pushing your heel into a back wall. Gather your core, and then moving into bird dog, we'll take the left arm forward. So bring your gaze up, find that plumb line from your chin right down. Let's take a deep inhale breath, and then exhale. 2 more breaths just like that. Inhale, reach forward with your fingertips and back with the heel. Exhale, breath. 1 more, deep breath in, fresh oxygen coming in the body. And exhale, let's lower that back down through center. From here, step the left foot back. Now press back into that heel. Open the calf, the Achilles, the back of the left leg. So it feels like I'm pushing the mat forward, but back with my foot. Now you're gonna take your right leg and just pivot it out like a kickstand. We're setting up for a modified side plank. Bring the inside edge of the left foot and then bring that left foot flat on the floor. Draw the left arm up just like a bow and arrow. And you're stacking the shoulder joints here. So take a look down at that right hand and make sure your wrist is still sitting directly under the shoulder joint. From here, I'm gonna pick up my right side a little bit, squeezing that right side oblique. Breathe. Exhale. Again, breathe, lifting through the fingertips. Send energy through all 4 of your limbs here. And now moving into modified half moon, start to pick up the right heel. Flex the right foot. Now lift your heel until it comes in line with the hip. And again, you're reaching out in all directions. I'm even pressing through the top of my right foot. Right hand is flat on the floor, plugging that right in. Take another inhale breath here. And exhale. Rotate the palm towards the back. Bend your knee and then reach for the top of your foot or your ankle. So keep the knee in line with the hip and press your hand into the top of the foot back into the hand. From here, just lift the left shoulder up, back, and down. So you're peeling the heart forward, opening the chest to the side wall, getting into that quad. Let's take another deep breath in here. And exhale, slow release back to modified half moon. So coming out the same way we came into it, now lower the foot flat on the floor, pick up that right oblique, look up, take a breath in, and exhale back to your tabletop position. From here, bring the knees together and sit back into child's pose. So let your ribs come rest on the top of the thighs, walk the hands forward. So find as much length as you can without any tugging into the shoulders. I want you to notice the side body here. Breathe into that open space. Lift and expand your side ribs. Exhale. Now breathe into the back body. Inhale, lifting those back ribs up to the sky. Breathing in between those spaces, creating breath volume, and exhale. Again, breathe into the side body. Exhale. Breathe into the back body, lift and expand the ribs. And exhale, look up to your hands, tense the fingertips. Good, so really root down through all 10 fingers here. And maybe you can sink the breastbone just a little bit more. And then come on back into your tabletop position. Let's move on to the left side. Walk the hands back under the shoulders, knees under the crease of the hips. Tuck into the toes, and let's take that left leg straight back, moving into bird dog. What I want you to feel here is lifting up through the back of the thigh. Root down through all 10 fingers. Feel your weight in the core, the center of the mat, and then start to take the right arm forward. The palm's gonna face in. There's a little lift through the heart, a little extension through the breastbone here. Reach forward with the fingers, back through that left heel. Take an inhale breath. Exhale, let it go. 2 more just like that. Inhale, lift, reach out, and exhale. Last time, inhale, make it bigger, and exhale. Let's lower that back down, knee comes down, and we're gonna extend the right leg straight back. Toes stay tucked. So push back through that right heel. If you want to open up a little deeper, you're going to root down through the hands, drive the mat forward with your palms. Breathe. Notice what you feel through the back of the right leg. So from the back of the heel right up through the Achilles, maybe even into the calf. Moving into our modified side plank, you're going to kick the left foot out like a kickstand. Okay, so I'm gonna root down through the top of that left foot. Now pivot the right foot, take it flat to the floor, and draw the right arm up, stacking shoulder on shoulder, looking up to the fingertips. If your neck doesn't feel good there, just look forward. Take a look down to your left hand. Notice that it's underneath the shoulder. I'm gonna walk mine back just a millimeter. And now squeeze into that left oblique, lift it up a little higher. Take an inhale breath. Exhale, let that breath go. Moving into our modified half moon. Shoulders stay stacked. Lift that heel hip height. So go ahead, look over at your heel. Notice that it's straight in line with the hip. Push out through all 4 limbs. Take another breath. Inhale. Exhale, moving into our quad stretch. The right hand rotates towards that foot. Bend the knee, keep the knee hip height, and reach for the top of the foot. So press into the top of the foot, push the foot back into the hand, peel the right shoulder back. So you're sending that right hip bone forward to get right into the quad and the hip flexor. Take another breath. And let's come out of it the same way we got here, moving back into modified half moon. So again, push through all the limbs. And modified side plank, bring that right foot flat on the floor. Lift up the oblique and come on back into your tabletop position. Walk the knees underneath the hips again, and then from here start to walk the hands out long on the mat, moving into puppy pose. So the hips are going to stay stacked over the knees, and we're just lengthening the upper body here, getting into that front spine. Notice the shoulders. If the shoulders don't feel good, walk the hands back, maybe coming down onto the forearms. So let the head go free here. If you have access to a block, you can bring your head to a block or all the way down to the mat. So tap into that place between the eyebrows and rock back and forth. You have a pressure point there for focus, for relaxation. And I want you to take a deep breath here into the side and the back body. Inhale and exhale. One more time. Full inhale, fill your body with breath. And exhale, let it go. Look up and walk the hands back underneath the shoulders. And moving into our downward facing dog. Tuck into the toes, lift the knees, and start to lift the hips up and back. Notice a straight line from your wrists right up to the hips. So flat hands here, pressing down into the mat. Lift the hips a little higher. You don't have to have the legs straight. You can bend into the knees. That's going to help decompress the low back. So if your knees are bent, you're going to root down through the top of the feet. If your legs are straight, you're going to drive those heels back, open up the inner thighs to the back wall. Breathe. So notice the side body here is open. Take advantage, breathe into that space. One more good breath here. Root down through the heels and slightly out. Now look to the hands. Lift your head slightly, bend the knees, and step to the hands. Let's fold forward. Feet can come under the hips, or you can have the feet together. It doesn't matter. Root down through those feet. Reach for opposite elbows. So let your head get heavy. Let your spine get long. You can nod the head yes. Shake it no. And start to play around with your weight. Just transfer the weight forward into the front of the feet. Grip the mat with all 10 toes. And then transfer the weight back. Just notice how that feels in your body. And go from looking straight at your knees, let your head get heavier, take your gaze closer to the shins. And then release the hands flat on the floor. You're gonna spread into those fingers again. And then for all you racket players, all you tennis players, I want you to lean forward, putting some pressure into the tips of the fingers and the balls of the feet. So we're opening up the flexors and extensors here in the arms. And then send that weight back. You're just pushing through the palms of the hands to transfer that weight back into the heels. Lift the toes, spread the toes, and do that again. Transfer the weight forward, lots of pressure into the hands, and then take it back. Re-engage the core, come on into your flat back. You're just gonna lift and lengthen the spine here. Lift the shoulders up towards the ears, draw them back and slide them down. Good, for more of a hamstring stretch, start to lean forward into the front of the feet. And here we go, fold forward again. Tuck into the spine, chin is tucking in towards the chest. And come on into standing. Open up the arms, flex the wrists as you rise into standing. Open the wrists again, rotate them to the walls and dive forward. Nice forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Lift and lengthen the spine, take the shoulders up, back and down. Lean into the front of the feet. Again, fold forward. And this time rising all the way into standing, take your right hand, hold on to the left wrist. Take a soft bend into the knees so you're not locked at the joint. Now gather your core, squeeze the belly, and start to lean into the right side. So we're opening up that whole left chain. Take a breath in, and on the exhale, see if you can find more space. Come on back through center, and let's do the other side. Left fingers wrap around the right wrist. So spread your fingers here and have your palm open to the left side. Find that little bend into the knees, gather the core, and start to lean left. So we're opening up the whole right chain here. Take a breath in, and on the exhale, see if you can find a little bit more space. Come on back through center. Let's swan dive forward with the flexed wrists. Land the hands under the shoulders. Bend into your knees, step back into a tall plank. Okay, so we're gonna move into a side plank. You have your modification if you wanna come back to that, or you can bring the feet together and roll to the outside edge of that right foot. Notice the wrist is stacked under the shoulders, and I'm gonna draw that left arm up, picking up the right hip, squeezing that right side oblique. Take a breath in, and exhale, coming back to your tall plank. So make sure you're not collapsing in the low back. Just pick up the back by pushing down through the floor in your hands, and then gather the elbows, come all the way down onto the belly. The wrists are gonna stay under the shoulders, tops of the feet come down, and bring your feet to the wide edges of the mat. You're gonna push away the floor, straighten the arms, coming into cobra. Pick up the shoulders, slide them back, slide them down, and then lift your chin, finding that plumb line. Rotate the head all the way over the right shoulder. Take your chin with that twist. Notice what you see in your field of vision. Take it back through center. Keep the chin lifted and take it over the left shoulder. Pause. Without moving your head, I want you just to notice what you see in your peripheral vision. Come on back through center, lower the belly all the way down. Tuck into your toes. Come on back to that tabletop position. Walk the knees under the hips, wrists under the shoulders. Moving back into bird dog, let's extend the right leg straight back. Push through that heel, left arm comes forward. Okay, so I'm reaching back through the heel, reaching forward with the left arm, and we're gonna take it open to the side into compass pose. So the left arm comes in line with the shoulder, and the right ankle comes in line with the hip. Pause right here, take a good breath in, and exhale. Take it back to your bird dog, and lower that back down. Knees come together, sit back in child's pose. Walk the hands forward as much as you can. Make sure there's no tugging in the shoulders. And if you have a block, this is a great time to put the block under your head or bring your forehead all the way down to the mat. Rock it back and forth, tapping into that pressure point for focus. Side body's open. Take a breath in there and exhale. One more breath into the side and back body. And exhale. Come on back into tabletop. Let's do the left side. So we're going into bird dog, into compass pose. Make sure the joints are all aligned here. Make sure your core is strong. So I'm pulling my tummy in as if you could lift the front ribs up in towards the back ribs. Extend the left leg straight back. Push through that heel. So there's a little extension here through their breastbone. Notice I'm not rounding through the spine at all. Take the right arm forward, palm faces in like you're shaking someone's hand. Lift the heart, reach back through that heel, forward with the hand, take a breath in. And on the exhale, let's open up compass pose. Right wrist in line with the right shoulder, left ankle in line with the left hip. Take a breath here. And exhale, let's take it back through center and lower that down. Good, from here, let's open up the shoulders. Make sure that your left wrist is directly under the shoulder. Take your right arm out to the side, palm faces down. Separate the knees hip distance. And then start to twist. You're gonna take that arm with you. You're peeling the right shoulder back. Look up to the fingertips. Nice lumbar twist here. And then thread the needle. Take the right arm under the left. And you're gonna take the outside of the right shoulder all the way down onto the mat. Okay, options here are to walk the left hand forward. So I'm gonna reach out through both hands. Option 2 is to take that left arm into a half bind. So I'm gonna wrap it around my low back. And then peel the left shoulder back, get a little deeper in that twist. Nice stretch for the whole posterior deltoid, back of the shoulder. Take one more good nourishing breath here. And then release that left hand back under the shoulder or walk it back. Make sure it's under the shoulder for support and come on back up. Push yourself back up. Let's do the left side. Left arm opens up, palm face down. So we're still in that tabletop position. Now start to open the left shoulder. Peel it back. Turn your gaze up towards your fingertips. Open as much as you can. Make sure there's no pain. And thread the needle. Left arm comes under. So place the outside of the left shoulder down and your left ear comes down to the mat. Option 1, walk the right hand out and you're gonna reach out through both hands as far as you can. Option 2, left arm comes into a half bind behind the back. Start to peel that right shoulder back. So look up and over the right shoulder here. Breathe. And again, just add a little more tension to the back of the shoulder. And lower the right hand or walk it back. Use it for support. Come on, back up. Tuck into the toes, move back to your downward facing dog. So create a nice long line from your wrists right up to your hips. Soft bend in the knees if you want. And we'll lift the right leg, coming into our three-legged dog. Notice how the shoulders stay square, they don't move. And again, a straight line from wrist right up to that ankle. And then pull the knee in towards the chest. You're gonna hug the calf into the hamstring, push away the floor. Pause right there. Now bring your knee towards your nose. Push away the floor, a little cat spine here. Look forward and step that right foot through. Moving into crescent lunge, drop the left knee and the top of the left foot down. So make sure you're rooted down through the base of that right big toe, and check out the joint stack, the knees stacked over the ankle. From here, let's sweep the arms up and overhead. Lift up out of the low back. Make sure you're not crunching the low back. You want to lift the heart, create a long low back. From here, open up the palms, and we're gonna reverse the arms like a backstroke. That's the word I'm looking for here. Stabilize the low body. Get as much range of motion as you can through the shoulders. Let's do 3 more. Inhale, breath, lift up. Exhale. So coordinate your breath with this movement. It doesn't have to be what I'm saying. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, take it back. One more time. Inhale, sweep those arms up, lift up out of the waist, and then take it back. Keep your right hand back. The left arm is going to come back up overhead. Little revolve twist here. So peeling the right shoulder back. See if you can open the palm towards the back wall, and you're lifting up and out of that left hip. Breathe. Stabilize the low body. Keep rooting down through both feet. Even the top of the left foot is rooting down here. One more breath. And let's take the arms back up overhead. Rotate the palms again, interlace the fingers behind the back, and you're gonna press the knuckles in towards that back thigh, the left leg. Peel the shoulders, look up if you want, lift the chin, open the lungs. And take the hands overhead. Bring the palms together into the prayer position. And now start to twist. You're gonna bring that elbow over the right knee. Push your right hand into the left to deepen the twist. Turn your gaze up over that right shoulder. Keep the low body stable, breathe. Use your exhale to twist deeper. So inhale, find space somewhere in your body to breathe. Exhale, deepen that twist. Look forward, turn your head forward, and reach the hands back up overhead. Lower the hands to frame the right foot, tuck into that back toe. And from here, we're gonna rise to high crescent lunge. Sweep the hands up overhead. So notice how the right quad is parallel to the floor. Keep that depth. Big inhale breath. And we're gonna flatten the left foot now, moving into warrior 2. So stabilize the low body, keep that quad parallel to the floor. Open the right palm, take reverse warrior or exalted warrior, lifting up out of the right side body. Lower the hands to frame the right foot. Let's step back into tall plank. From here, feet are together. You're gonna rotate the heels to the right side. Take your modification if you want, lowering the right knee, moving into side plank. Pick up the right hip, squeeze the oblique, big inhale breath. And exhale back to plank. Lower chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Let the clavicles get nice and broad here. Pull the belly in, move back to downward facing dog. Nice flat back, rooting down through flat hands. Pick up your hips. And we'll lift the left leg high to the sky, one straight line. Pull the knee into the chest. Push away the floor, squeeze that calf into the hamstring. And now knee to nose. Lift the spine. Step that left foot through and land the ankle right under the knee. So if your leg stops here,
just use your hand and manually bring it forward, no problem. And then lower the right knee down, top of the right foot comes down. Sweep the hands up overhead, big hands, open the wrists. Good, and then get up out of the low back to create that long low back. Lift the heart, peel the shoulders back a little bit. Maybe the baby fingers rotate back. And now we're gonna do the back stroke. Rotate the palms, reach them back. Sweep the arms up, inhale. Exhale, sweep it back. 3 more, inhale. And exhale, stabilize the low body. Root down through both feet. Inhale, exhale, sweep it back. Last time, take the arms up overhead. And this time the left hand comes back to the right thigh. Right arm, palm faces back, lifting up out of that right hip. Stabilize the low body, keep rooting down through the feet. Look up if you want, or you can just look forward if your neck feels uncomfortable. Take one more breath, reach up, reach back. And let's take both hands behind the back. Interlace the fingers here, get up high onto your knuckles, and then press the knuckles towards the back of the right thigh as you peel the shoulders open. Again, don't crunch the low back, lift up out of it. Maybe you take a back bend, lift the chin, open the back of the throat, open the lungs. And reach the hands up overhead. Palms come together, bring the hands down into the prayer position. Start to twist left, taking that right elbow all the way over the left knee. Now lift the left shoulder up, draw it back and down, just setting it in place here. Make sure your right heel is pointed towards the ceiling. You take an inhale breath, breathing to wherever is available to you. A little difficult when we're in a twist. And then on the exhale, always take that twist deeper if you can. Do that one more time. Inhale and exhale. Peel the left shoulder back. Look forward. Come on out of the twist. Reach the hands up overhead. And lower the hands. Frame that left foot. Untuck the right side. Lift the knee. Firm your feet down and let's rise to high crescent lunge. So notice the left thigh now stays parallel to the floor. Reach the hands up overhead. Big inhale breath. Square the hips to the front of your mat. And rotate that back foot flat on the floor, warrior 2. The quad stays parallel to the floor, no change there. Strong legs, feel this in your inner thighs, soften the shoulders from the ears. Rotate the left palm up, reach back, reverse or exalted warrior. Try not to dump too much weight on the right leg. Keep the depth through your lunge here. One full breath in and exhale. Rotate those hands down to the floor, step back into your tall plank. Bring the feet together. So moving into our side plank now on the left side, take your options. Drop the left knee down under the hip if you want, modifying, okay? Draw the right arm up, pick up that left hip just a bit. Take a breath in and exhale, lower the right hand. Chaturanga, inhale, up dog. Get the clavicles broad, pull the tummy in, move back to downward facing dog. All right, take a couple recovery breath here. Notice the hands are flat, the hips are lifted. Come back to that one straight line from wrists right up to hips. Breathe. One more, good breath here. And let's look to the hands, step to the hands, forward fold. Let the chin tuck in towards the chest. Bring your hands flat on the ground if you can. Inhale into your flat back. Now lift, reset the spine. Notice the belly is still engaged. Shoulders up, back down. Lean into the front of the feet. Moving into our chair pose, start to bend the knees. The weight's gonna sink into the heels here. And then take the arms up. And again, make sure that you're not tilting the tailbone. Just tuck here. Okay, so we're taking the arch out of the low back. Lift up through your hands, lift your heart, feel the weight through the heels. Take a deep breath in. And then bring the hands down to the prayer position, sink a little deeper and twist right. See if you can get your armpit over the right shoulder, the right knee. Stabilize the low body, try not to move the knees, they stay parallel to each other. Lift the right shoulder up, back down, set it in place. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Come on back to chair. Pushing through those heels and take a forward fold. Tuck into the chin, get round through the spine. And from here, sink the hips, come back to chair. Weight is in the heels. Working on thoracic mobility here. Bring the hands to heart center. Sit deep into the heels. Lift the shoulders up, back, down. So push into your forearm bones here. And now twist left. Try to get the armpit over the left knee. Top hand pushes down into the bottom twist. Set the shoulder, lift up, back, down. Turn your gaze, look up over that right shoulder. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Look forward, come back to chair. I know the quads are hot right now. Sit back into those heels, get deeper if you can. Big inhale breath. And exhale, fold forward. Flat hands here, tuck the chin. And soften the knees, step back, tall plank. Lower chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Lift the hips. Rotate your shoulders in and slide them down your back. Let's take this to a child's pose. Bring the knees wide on the mat. Sit back into your heels, walk the hands forward. Okay, walk your hands forward as much as you can. Make sure there's no tugging in the shoulders. Take one more good breath into the side, into the back body. Lift the head and walk the hands back. So we're going to move into our hero's pose, working on some ankle mobility. So it really helps with that motion of propelling forward, of taking off, increasing power. So we're going to tuck into the toes. It might feel uncomfortable, and you're going to sit back into the heels. All right, right away you might notice some discomfort. We're not going to be here too long, but this is a great position to use, a great pose to use just to open up the back of the feet. And let's take the arms forward. Palms are going to face down. Now start to lean back. Okay, opening the quads. Keep the core tight. Keep the shoulders over the hips, and then come back forward. We're going to do this 2 more times. Take an inhale breath, and then exhale, lean back. One more time, inhale, take it forward, and exhale, back. Take it forward, stack the shoulders over the hips, and let's lower the hands. Untuck the toes, come onto the top of the feet. Okay, opening the front of the ankle joint now, the plantar side of the feet. Take the hands in line with the shoulders. And now you're just gonna reach forward with the fingertips and then pull the shoulders back. One more time. Inhale, reach forward. And exhale, pull back. Keep the shoulders there. Lift your fingertips to the sky. Push through your palms. And then rotate the fingertips down. Keep a long neutral spine. Inhale, lift the fingertips to the sky, push through your palms. And exhale, rotate the fingertips down. Good. Now moving into our dynamic hero's pose, palms face down, sitting on the tops of the feet, start to lean back. Squeeze the tummy here. Root down through the shins and the knees. and then take that forward. So right away, you're gonna feel an opening from the front of the ankle right into the shins. Inhale, breath. Exhale, take it back. Squeeze the belly, keep the core engaged. Inhale, forward. We have one more. Inhale, and exhale, lean back. So if you want a little more core here, you're gonna lift the knees, again, really opening up through the front of the feet here. Squeeze the belly. And let's lower it down. Take the hands down into your tabletop position, tuck the toes, lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Root down through those hands, nice flat hands. See if you can press the heels down. And let's alternate heel presses here. So we'll pick up the left foot, pressing into the right. And then switch. Lift the right heel, press the left heel down. Let that movement come from your heels, not your hips. Lift the left heel, take the right heel down. Last switch up, lift the right heel, left heel comes down. And then lift the left heel, keep the heels both lifted, look to your hands, soften the knees, and you're either gonna step or jump to the outside of your hands, moving into Malasana. Okay, the knees come wide, so we're opening up the inner thighs here. Bring the forearm bones together, push into your palms. You can use your elbows here to drive the knees out. So you wanna find a nice tall spine. Lift the pubic bone high, lift the heart, and then slide those shoulder blades back. If this feels hard to get your feet flat on the floor, I want you to sit on a block, or you can sit on a pillow, whatever works for you. Keep the core engaged. Breathe. So this is great for opening the hips, opening the inner thighs. There's a little extension through the front spine as you lift the heart. Take one more breath. And now lower the hands back down, step back into your tall plank position. Chaturanga, bend the elbows, inhale, upward facing dog. Get broad through the clavicles and back into your downward facing dog. We're gonna jump or step into Malasana again. So soft knees, look to the hands, look to where you're going. Jump or step to the outside of the hands. Okay, forearm bones are pressing together, press your palms together, open the knees. Squeeze the belly, lift the heart, slide the shoulder blades down. Couple breath here. And now I want you to transfer your weight into the left leg and pick the right leg up. You're gonna hug that knee into your chest. So standing balance pose. Okay, make sure that you're not leaning forward or leaning back. We're gonna stack the shoulders right over the hips. And now find some rotation through that ankle joint. Rotate a few times in each direction. And now we move into our quad stretch. Take your hand, just like we did at the beginning, to the top of the foot. You can also hold on to the ankle. And now bring your knee parallel to the floor. So kneecaps face down. Find a little micro bend in that standing leg. Just make sure you're not locked at the joint. And we'll take the left arm up overhead. Baby finger's gonna rotate back. And now lift the right shoulder up, back, down, set it in place. Press into the top of your foot, push your foot back into your hand. So if you want a deeper quad stretch, move the hips forward. And hopefully you feel something from the top of the hip right down to the knee. Hip flexor and quad. Take one more breath, reach that left hand up. And then let's move back to Malasana. Hands come to the prayer position. Toes are turned out, sit back into the heels. Okay, adding a little bit of a twist here. You're gonna lower the left hand down, open the right arm up, look up to those fingers, take the right shoulder back if you can, and you're using your left hand to open up that left inner thigh and groin. Breathe. Take one more breath. And let's do the opposite side. So the right hand comes down, flat hands. Use that right arm to open the right inner thigh groin. Take the left arm up, look to the fingertips, and if you can, peel the left shoulder back. So think of your left shoulder moving towards your right knee. One more breath. Come on back down. This time transfer the weight into the right foot. Bring your left knee in towards the chest. Okay, so you're hugging that knee in as close as you can. Knee towards the shoulder. Stack the shoulders over the hips. Make sure your right knee is pointed towards the top of the mat. You can even squeeze that right glute a little bit if you want. Rotate the ankle a few times in each direction. Soften your gaze, let go of the jaw. Doesn't matter how this looks. Who cares? Doesn't have to be perfect. And then quad stretch. So taking hold of the ankle or the top of the left foot, line up the knees, extend the right arm up. Lift the left shoulder up, back, down. Reach up. Right baby finger is reaching back. And that right shoulder blade is sliding down your back. You want to go a little deeper, tuck the tailbone. Move that hip forward. Let's take another deep breath here. And exhale, moving back to Malasana. One more twist. Okay, this time we're going to take a full bind. Left hand comes down, right arm opens to the sky. Start to rotate that palm back in slow motion, reach behind you. Good, now you're going to take the hand behind, maybe taking that left hand to the right hand. And now peel the right shoulder open, look up, big inhale breath. Exhale. One more breath, inhale. And exhale, release. Let's do the other side. Right hand comes down, left arm to the sky, fingertips reach. Use that right arm to push the right knee open. Rotate the palm back, beautiful shoulder rotation, and then reach back towards the back wall. Taking the bind, hand comes behind you, maybe the right hand meets the left. Peel the left shoulder back, look up. Another breath. And release. From here, let's heel toe the feet back through center. Nice forward fold. Let the head get heavy. Spine gets long. One more wrist opener. You're going to lift the toes, slide the hands underneath the feet. So pressing a lot into the palms of the hands. Start to transfer that weight forward and let the head hang here. It's okay to bend the knees. So this is a great pose, this forward fold, to do up against a wall, having your back against the wall. And then from there, you just really try to straighten the legs. One more breath. And release the hands. Good, softly bend into those knees. Now you're gonna round up like a rag doll, nice and slow, round through the spine, let the head stay heavy, and come up one vertebra at a time. Stack the shoulders and find your long spine. Lift the shoulders up, back, down. Inhale, take the hands overhead. Right wrist catches the left. Lift up through those fingertips, lean to the right side. So by now, you should notice a little more space in that side body. Let's take it back through center, and the left hand holds the right wrist. Reach up, get length. Exhale, get depth. Hopefully you have more space than you did at the beginning. And come on back through center, rotate the wrists. Keep the wrists flexed, nice swan dive forward here. And bend into the knees, come on all the way down. Moving right into our boat pose. I'm gonna give you a few options here. Option one is to have the arms out by your sides, fingertips are spread, and stay here. So roll off of your sit bones. So here I'm on my sit bones, and I'm gonna roll off the sit bones. The spine is nice and long, flat back. Option 2, lift the heels. Keep your feet light, and you're gonna energetically just pull your knees up towards your heart. Option 3, straighten the legs, keep the toes light, fingertips are light, and breathe. Inhale, exhale. One more inhale, and exhale. Bend back into the knees, pull them up towards the chest, lower the heels, and come on back onto your sit bones into a seated mountain pose. So find your nice tall spine, shoulders are back. Let's inhale the hands up overhead. Big inhale breath, reach up, squeeze the belly. And exhale, rotate the palms, bring the hands behind you, moving into our reverse plank. Fingertips face forward, plug those hands flat down into the floor. Point the feet, open the front of the ankle joint. Now start to lift the hips. Lift the hips high enough that your knees and toes disappear. If the neck says okay, let the head relax. Opening the front and the back of the throat. Breathe in. Lift the hips higher. And exhale. One more breath in. Lift higher if you can. Inhale. And exhale. Come on back into that seated mountain pose. Nice tall spine. Reach the hands up overhead. Big inhale breath. And this time start to hinge forward. Keep the chest lifted, spine stays long. We want to keep that stretch into the hamstrings, not the back. So keep your spine long, look ahead, maybe gazing to your toes. Try to rotate that baby toe towards you. Take a breath in, lift and lengthen the spine, and then exhale, get depth. One more time, inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, get depth. And come on back up into seated. Take the right foot over the left, and you're gonna firm that foot down into the floor, so pressing into the base of the big toe. Take your left forearm around the shin, and then just start to hug that in. Flex into the left foot, take the right arm up overhead, reach as high as you can. Just like we did at the beginning of class, in slow motion, rotate the right hand back. And now reach behind you as far as you can until you can bring your fingertips or a flat palm behind the tailbone. Inhale, lift, lengthen the spine. Exhale, twist. Take your chin over the shoulder. Add another breath here. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Straighten the spine. Exhale, rotate. Come on out of it. Slowly move the head forward and unbind. Let's do the left side. So take that left knee over. Flat foot down, rooting down through the base of the big toe. Flex into your right foot. Now take your left forearm around the left shin. Hug that in as close as you can. Lift the left fingertips to the sky. Reach up out of the sit bones. Rotate the left palm to the back wall. Reach behind you. And now either set the fingertips or the flat palm down. Use that left hand to lift the spine. Use your right hand to twist. Bring the chin over the left shoulder. Big inhale breath. On the exhale, twist deeper. One more inhale. Exhale, twist. Look forward and come on out of the twist. Bend into both knees. Come on all the way down onto your backs. So line up your feet hip distance apart. You're just gonna let your spine settle in here. We've had a lot of twisting, a lot of extending. So feel the support of the ground beneath you.
Feel your upper, your mid, and your low back just release. So moving into heavy legs. This is a great pose after a game, after a run, cycle, or even just a busy day, or before you go to bed. You're gonna lift both heels up to the ceiling. And this is even better if you have a block underneath your tailbone, underneath the hips. Flex into the feet. Spread the toes maybe. You can point and flex the ankles. And ideally, we would stay here for 5 minutes, but we're not going to do that. Just a few breaths. Push up through your heels. One more breath. And then bring the soles of the feet together. And you can either hold on to the back of the knees, the shins, or the outer edges of the feet. You can use your elbows to drive the knees out. You can even rock back and forth here, giving the low back a massage. So your tailbone stays nice and long, you're not lifting it up off the floor. Push your feet together and release. Do that a couple more times. Just press the feet together like you're tensing the muscles. And then release. One more time. Push the feet together, tense your muscles. And release. Good. Last pose, moving into happy baby. Bring your feet parallel to the ceiling. Again, you're maintaining that long spine, the tailbone stays down, but bring your knees even closer to the floor if you can. You can rock back and forth here onto the spine. Breathe. Let's take one more breath. And then bring the legs together and the heels come down. Good. Allow your spine just to settle. And float your palms up to the ceiling. And slowly start to step the feet away from the body. Just slowly. Watch the low back isn't lifting. You're going to push it back down into the floor. And once the legs are long on your mat, just have the toes splayed to the sides. And again, the palms float open, just so that we're not tempted to grip anything. Now start to soften your gaze, soften your jaw. Relax the shoulders and the hips. And relax your toes. Breathe naturally. And if your eyes are closed, focus on the back of the eyelids. See if you can shut off any distractions. And listen to the sound of your own breath. Now deepen your breath and create some movement back in your body, in the fingers and the feet. Let the head stay heavy and rock it from right to left. Bend into one knee at a time. And then come on back into the fetal position. You're just going to roll to your right side or the left, whatever's your favorite. And then cradle your head into your bicep. Take a couple good breaths here, breathing into the low belly. And this time release through the mouth. Again, inhale through the nose. And exhale through the mouth, sigh it out. Press yourself back into a seated position. And the same way we started, you're going to take that non-dominant leg and bring it out in front. Find a nice tall spine here. Lift the shoulders up, back, down. And bring your hands back to heart center. Take a little bow. And just acknowledge your hard work today. Acknowledge the deposit you just made back into yourself. Thank you for practicing together. Namaste.